Hey guys, it's Alon, and today is the final day of 2021 as of this recording. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys everything I built in my Minecraft Creative Map this year, or at least everything I can in a reasonable amount of time, because there is a lot. Let's start with with the large tree that I built near spawn in mid-November, actually. I am not showing these in chronological order of when I built them, and I'm just showing them according to the general area in which I am flying. Here's a large tree that I built near spawn. I also made some improvements to these houses, the oldest buildings in my map. You can see from the walls, from the walls here. But now let's head over to, wait, come on, why can't I get into fly mode? There, so TP, 900, 100, negative 250. This should put us near my first project this year, which you'll see in a moment here. The custom ocean monument. Now, it looks pretty much like the regular ocean monument, except for the railing here. In the interior, here's the treasure room. I didn't just put gold, I also put emeralds. And here's the main entrance, which is slightly better than the vanilla ones. And there's this island here with a tree that I never finished. I built the ocean monument over much of the first few days of January 2021. A couple of days later, I went over and built this small island here of a sunflower plains biome and a flower forest biome. I will actually add custom flower heads to the trees as well, like I did in my main flower forest biome that I'll show you guys later. And I built one house on this island. Obviously not exactly the most spacious house. But yeah. And here's the lukewarm ocean biome that I built a few days later. In mid-early January. I have a little more vegetation and some rocks on top of the vanilla biome. And here's the deep variant of the biome that I started when I came back to this area in early June. Notice how there's a cliff leading into the deep portion of the lukewarm ocean biome. I have a few bones here. I have a few bones here. Yeah. Now heading over in this direction, you will see an archway island, a mountain biome. And over there, I built a bit of a birch forest and taiga island with a gravel beach, just like in beta. Now head over to 1,100, or let's head over to 950, 100, 1,100. So now you will see what the new continent that I started in early February of this year. And actually, my original plan was actually for this to be a new continent, but now I'm actually merging it. I actually plan to merge it together with the mainland, seeing as I have jungle biomes on facing each other, basically. But here's the Savannah biome with acacia and baobab trees. Let me know in the comments down below how to pronounce that. But here's the custom Savannah biome, which is the first biome that I built here. Here's the Savannah Plateau. Here's the Savannah Plateau biome. Over here is my unfinished shattered Savannah biome, which are high cliffs and large mountain ranges. Heading over this way, we have the mangrove biome, which I worked on shortly after Minecraft Live in October, right around the time I was toying around with the fringe lands and the little on the terrain. Yeah. Here's the custom mangrove trees that I built for this biome. And the terrain is basically just like that of a regular swamp. So now, let's head over to 800, or no, let's do 700, 120, and then maybe 400, or 350. That should put me near the Badlands biome. Yep. So I built much of more of the Badlands biome around April and May 2021. Including this side of the plateau here. I built this Badlands village, which I showed in my video on the Badlands biome back in May. I built in mid-late April of this year. In fact, I worked on it for much of the weekend of April 24th and 25th. And I also filled out this area, which was previously just a gap in the terrain. But now, let's head over to 600. Now let's head over to minus 600, 100, and then minus 500. There. So in a moment here, you'll see. Hold on, let me load up. I just did that by accident. We'll let it over here. Here's another unfinished project of mine. The seed glacier from the beta days. But it's actually a glacier. You can see here, I worked on this briefly in March, and I will come back to it. But now, let's head over to the build that I really wanted to show you guys now. So if I head off in this direction, you'll see the large house that I built in mid-late June. That I actually showed briefly in near the end of one of my videos in August. Here's a bit of the exterior. And now let's head inside. Now this floor I actually intended to have a pool that opens out into, just like a pool that I remember in California. And here's a library, sort of library, not really a library, just a book, enchanting room. And like this, I didn't really do anything to that room. And that was actually the only tower in which I did an interior. I will come back to this build. And I also began work on another port city right around here. And over at in the tropical area, there is actually one thing I forgot to show you guys. Actually, let's put a higher altitude because that'll land me inside of a jungle tree. So here's the jungle biome that I showed in a video back in July. At the end of July. Here's a coral reef biome. Here's my custom coral reef biome. But that's actually not what I meant. But it is another thing that I'd like to show you guys. That's the one thing that I forgot to show. I also began working on a tropical port city with colorful buildings and whatnot. So it is turning night here. Here's a bed. There. So now here's what I came back to show you guys. A waterfall based on the Tamil waterfall in Mexico, which was actually a lock screen wallpaper that I had in around mid-early March when I built this. So notice how I made the vegetation less dense on top of the hill. I used a lot of grass paths and dirt to add more texture to the landscape. And I eventually plan to have the river actually start from the Savannah, from the shattered Savannah biome. And over here are some oceanic cliffs that I built recently. In fact, my favorite thing about the 1.18 world generation is these oceanic cliffs. And I incorporated, and I'm working on incorporating that into my map. The coral, so I actually continue the coral reef biome in here. And I actually plan to have another body of water over there. And on the other side, we will have cliffs just like here. And this will go up to a stony peaks biome. Now let's head over to negative 900, 100, 1000. This will put us near some more oceanic cliffs that I would like to show you guys. Here's the mountain range that I built in the western, what is now the western section of the mainland. Well, I haven't finished this part yet. I built some more oceanic cliffs over here with a mountain meadow biome on top. Now, although I am building the 1.18 biomes, I'm still on 1.17.1 in this map, because when the Amulet editor updates, it'll be easier to deal with that 64 block gap below the old bedrock layer. Yeah. We made this an ocean biome because its grass color is similar to mountain meadows. Alright. So now let's head over to the nearby dark forest biome, which I built in mid to late May. There's a bit of a house here that I never finished because I have too many ideas going through my head in this map. And I generally abandon things because it's obvious, because I don't really like having ideas just sit in my head for too long. But there's a shrine, and over here is our what I built of our custom woodland mansion. I will finish this eventually. And this over here is based on a certain cool seed in the beta version. In fact, I based a lot of the terrain in my map around the beta versions, as it was much better terrain in general, mainly due to using scale noise rather than biome to determine height. But yeah, let's fix the floating tree here. So. And over here is our custom flower forest biome. I haven't added trees to most of it yet. But on the trees I have placed in the biome, I also use these custom heads for flowers in the trees. Yeah. And yeah. So now let's head over to the holiday village that I recently showed you guys. And if we head off in this direction, you will see the ice spikes biome that I also showed you guys recently. I guess it's kind of redundant to show these. So, yeah. This video's kind of dragging on. So I will... Now it's building a bit of a cliff. It'll lead into a mountain range. And, yeah. So, is that it? No. Let's head over to the Greek city. There. Here's the Greek city, which I made a video on a few weeks ago, and now let's head over to the Japanese city. Which I also showed in that video. In the background, I also built this biome here, this forest pillar biome here. So this video is kind of dragging out. So I will just cut to my most ambitious build this year. And now I will show you guys my most ambitious project this year in my Minecraft creative map, the Farlands. So I will start the southeastern one, which are basically my recreation of a generic Farlands spawn in the beta versions, of course, with modern Minecraft biomes. So here's the corner Farlands. By the way, does anyone know how to fix all these lighting glitches? It is with Amulet. Let me know in the comment section down below. I also built this a bit of a shipwreck. It was too small, so I started expanding it more right before the Farlands. To make it so you can imagine like an explorer was lost and found the Farlands and pretty much got shipwrecked here. Here's the edge Farlands. There's a mushroom biome over there. Let's head over to the edge Farlands section. That was originally at x equals 3900, z equals 0. I actually built this Farlands village that I showed in a video back in March, titled Minecraft Creative Farlands Builds. I also built the Farther Land and the Fringe Lands, although that would be a bit much to show in this one video, especially considering I've already been recording for well over 15 minutes. It's turning night again. So now let's head to the northwest. Or actually, for this one, I will show the Farther Lands because I actually haven't even moved the start of the regular Farlands there to the new location yet. Besides, it is more about the Farther Lands here than the Farland. This one is actually more interesting for the Farther Lands than the Farlands. This one is actually meant to be an accurate replica of the spawn that I got in my beta 1.202 64-bit mod investigation world. Like you can see here that the Farther Lands look almost exactly as I built them there. And it is turning night. Or not as I built them there, the Farther Lands. I built the Farther Lands almost exactly as they generated there. And this actually looks pretty close to the original, to the real thing actually. But it is turning night once again. So let's bring out another bed and sleep and bring on the next day for better visibility. So if I keep going in this direction, you'll eventually see the line right there. Now note that I haven't that this is how this artifact right here will actually continue outward in the finished build. But for now, I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Here's the second expansion of the line. Third expansion of the line. And pretty soon we'll reach the biome Skylands farlands. There. Alright, and I actually haven't finished building the line yet, which is why it just stopped right there. But now let's head to 1,000 ahead. Or actually, no, 1,000 west, not 1,000 east. And you will see right there the brick pyramid. A brick pyramid exactly like the one that I built in the normal area around 2,500 and on the X and negative 500 on the Z. So this desert biome that I began working on right here will actually be the last non-grassland biome going in this direction. After that, I will make all the biomes grassland, like in beta 1.202, after about 2 trillion blocks. And last but not least, tilde negative 9,000. Tilde. This will put us around the degrading phase. There. Like you can see, I'm working on building this whole spawn, thinning out and becoming rather shredded, like I showed in my final Farlands investigation video. And with the low layer becoming sky grid, and the comb and the edge fartherland becoming comeland. Now let's head over to negative 16,000, 120, and then negative 50,100. You will see the diagonal line exactly as it appeared, a trillion blocks out, like I showed in yesterday's video. Okay, that's leaves and bone meal for decoration. Now, I would show you guys the bedrock-based farlands in the northeast, but I actually plan on replacing that once I release this map for Bedrock Edition. When I release this map for Bedrock Edition, I will actually keep the bedrock-based farlands on that version and replace all the Java-based farlands there with bedrock-based ones. Yeah, in the Java version of the map, I will replace the bedrock-based one with another Java-based farland. With the interesting farlands spawn that Antonio MC commented about in my last video with the ocean in one of the corner farlands. A video on that would be cool and be even better. If you could get the feed from the level.dat file, that would be cool. But yeah. I'd also show you the southwest, but I made little progress on that. So now let's just head over to a couple other builds in the main area. So you see right here that I actually built a Skylands area, a Skylands biome in this map. It would actually be cool if the Skylands were a real biome that would generate floating islands high above the ocean. I first worked on this in late March, and added some more in September. I also built a gold dungeon from the Aethermar over there, or at least some of it. And when 1.18, when I upgrade this map to 1.18, I will actually move this project to take advantage of the new height limit. Now let's head over to negative 900. I think negative 800, 100, and then 50. So here's and that's just a map art on my desktop that I did around this map's inception in early 2019. Anyway, over here's the Mushroom Island, which I built around May of this year, and showed you guys in a video in July. And now last but not least, let's head over to 300, 100, and then 1400. And here you will see my volcanic waste island. That's another custom biome that I am building in my map. That will actually be the only place in my map where you can find lava lakes. I built most of this in August. This year, actually. Now, it's really not feasible to show everything I built this year in a reasonable amount of time for the video. So I guess that's about it, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and hit the bell, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell and click on all for all notifications. And goodbye.